We're in the office today, and we just wanted to put a quick update out about what the talk is around the office. So things have changed a lot in the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks. What have you noticed the most?
Definitely a change in the urgency of people right now and buying. They seem to come into open houses and stuff, and they're not as scared of the market taking off on them anymore. So it seems like they're going home and doing a little more thinking than they used to.
Okay, so would you say that the buyers are kind of slowly starting to come into play or starting to take control of the market more so than the sellers?
Yeah, I'd say that there's a bit of a power struggle going on. It takes some time to see who's gonna not necessarily win, but to see the shift actually happen. You're starting to hear sellers acknowledge that the market's changing, so that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to say that buyers are just they're not feeling as pressured to move ahead, so they're becoming a little more picky with that.
Yeah.
When you think in a really hot market, people they let go of some of the needs that were musts, and they become things that they would like, but they'll go without. Now you'll start to see those things they would like become needs again. So if you didn't buy a place that has the right kind of layout, if it doesn't have the right setting, if it doesn't have the right kind of yard facing the right kind of thing, you're going to pay for it more now, because you could have been facing a dumpster before and nobody cared because there was fear that they were never going to own anything unless they bought now. So that's going to change. So what you're going to start to see is people that bought smart be rewarded still, and people that didn't really know what they were doing or had bad guidance when they bought and not being told about some of the stuff that people might not like when they become a seller, they're going to pay for it a little bit more. So it's going to become a pickier buyer. That's the first thing that I believe is going to happen.
All right, so 2 questions. One, over the last, say, year where this market's been totally out of control, at any time do you feel any of your buyers or your purchasers, let's say, that they ever got themselves into a position where they overbid or overpaid too much for a certain spot? And why?
No, I'm not worried at all. I can't speak for how some people, there's 14,600 realtors and everybody's different. There's the Wild West out there. I've probably killed more deals than I have put through in my life, and it's because some people just don't see things. You got to bring things up, It's simply mentioning something as little as being on a T in an intersection.
Right.
You might not, somebody might say, hey, I really like that. There's no house across the street from me. It's wide open view. But sometimes those people don't realize that, you know what, you're going to be a seller one day.
Yeah.
You almost have to be thinking like a seller. And most people don't have, the knowledge to even just think about that. They're on buy mode. That's what they're thinking about buying. Hey, I like this place. I like the way it looks. You have to be thinking that you're a seller at the same time you're a buyer.
Yeah.
Because down the road, you'll be rewarded if you buy smart.
Okay.
So that's just a little kind of thing. And it's even when you go to a condo, people don't realize that having bedrooms spread apart from the living area, massive layout pro, that's what people want. Why? Because when you are a seller one day, you might have an investor buying. You might not be an investor, but you might have an investor that buys your place.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to rent out, that's the ideal that people want. They want the bedrooms spread out across the living space, so that if you have 2 roommates, there's privacy.
Yeah.
Side-by-side bedrooms might work for you because you have a kid and you want to be close to them. But when you become a seller again, if you're not in that smoking hot market, you might pay for it a little bit.
Okay. Now, going back to the buyer side of things, would you say right now is a good time then for buyers that have been sitting on the sideline to start looking at properties again?
You know what I always say in any market, whether it's a hot market or a slow market, there's deals to be had and rip-offs to be had in every single market.
Yeah.
So you just have to make sure that you have the right guidance in any market. There is no doubt going to be some sad buyers that bought in the last few months that, and this is the kind of thing that I probably can't say on this.
Yeah.
So, as much as that, I'm not trying to be funny, it's just, let's face it, if you, the peak and the bottom of the market never happen when they actually happen, if that makes sense. So what I tell people is, if you wait to buy at the bottom of the market, you missed it. You have to buy when it's on its way down, because there's some sellers that are scared how low it will go. So you actually catch the bottom when it's on its way down, and that's when you have to have the crystal ball figuring how close is it. Just like Some buyers have bought in the last few months thinking it was going to go up forever. So you pay the most while it's going up, and you get the best deal while it's going down. You never ever hit the peak or the bottom.
Okay.
By the time a seller tries to hit the top of the market, they missed it because now the buyers aren't scared anymore. Just like
It's like trading stocks.
yeah,
It's like trading stocks.
Exactly,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
a degree.
yeah,
It
okay.
is, no matter what.
Okay, perfect.